This is a learning experience. I've never thought that I would be in electoral politics and will be fighting election and so on. But one interesting fact is that my decisions to contest the election, it seems that I've taken the right decision, because I wanted to change, clean up some of this politics and go beyond this dirty politics and the kind of chaos that we have in the state. Those people who want to sustain this chaos, they thrive on this chaos and confusion. I think those people are very disturbed with my appearance in the electoral scene. And that's one of the reasons why you must have noticed all my campaigns have been sought to be disrupted. I'm the only candidate which has been targeted like this. There was subtle ways, not so subtle ways actually. They have come home with gun and all, called me to come to some place, and I was told by some other people already that I shouldn't go. They are trying to force me to withdraw from election. So I went underground, not out of fear, but tactical. So since they couldn't do it, then there is a disruption, there's no campaign, no nothing and stuff like that. But you can see very well when the BJP organized Dhoom Dham se jo kiya na bhi, they did a big meeting, nothing happened. I don't know, so they make it sure that you don't have a chance. Since they have done it, there was no disruption in Congress, and I might start organizing big time. Oh, I forgot to tell the press, my meeting permission has been cancelled. See, there is a story like this. Not only fires, disruption has happened, but the officials have not issued permission for me to hold meetings, despite the fact that they have. So there is a concerted effort to scuttle my voice. And this is something that I think the press should take note of it. I forgot to tell the local newspaper this aspect, that my meeting permission have been denied. That's a strange thing. We'll be applying again, because we have barely 3-4 hours only today. Not a single big public meeting was held. But despite their effort to suppress, I'm sure that people's will win over, will have the final say after this election. Besides this, the Congress has already issued a manifesto. You are aware of that one. And these BJP people have been commenting and misinterpreting it as if, this Congress is trying to give separate administration to the cookies and so on. Simply because there is a word in that manifesto called administrative settlement. They don't realize that administrative settlement could mean so many things, including rationalization of present existing administrative, jurisdiction and so on. But as it turns out, they have issued their manifesto. There is not a single word on Manipur, despite the fact that we have gone through this terrible crisis, violence for almost now 2 months. It complements Prime Minister's silence. The absence of Manipur in their manifesto is complementing Prime Minister's Modi's silence on Manipur. So these are some of the things that we have seen. So in line with that manifesto of the Congress party, I have my own personal agenda. What is that I want to do as a political leader, as people's representative, as an MP. I have 13 agenda. My mission is, broad aim is to create a new political culture for a new Manipur. That's my slogan. For a new political culture, for a new Manipur. And in order to achieve that, I have broken it down into 13 specific agendas that I have. The first one is quite obviously to fix accountability for this current violence. Who has started, how it has started, and to pursue, to fix accountability for this. As a part of that, one crucial aspect is to fight for the justice for the internally displaced people. I will try my best to ensure that they go back to their original home and live there again with dignity and well-being. That don't, not simply going back there, but also to lead a life with dignity and well-being. That will be my first priority. Until unless we do that, I will never accept that there is peace in the state. Manipur is such a small state and such a small communities in 1.4 billion population. So we need certain constitutional safeguard. And so one of the things I would be pursuing is to look for such constitutional safeguard. One critical aspect of that would be to fight for the scheduled tribe status for the Métis. Second is, the kind of patterns of population growth that Manipur has it. We need to thoroughly investigate that and also adopt a population policy to mediate these irregularities and also take into account the socio-economic implication of the population growth. A part of this population policy would be to pursue for something to distinguish between citizens and non-citizens, something like the NRC. You may not call it NRC, you might like to call any other name, but the fact remains that we must have something, a process, an institutional mechanism to distinguish who is a citizen and who is not a citizen. So that would be my third priority. And the fourth one is, because of this crisis, as you know, we have serious economic implications. Many startups have closed down. Investment has shifted. There's a flight of investment from the state. They've moved to nearby cities like Dimapur, Guwahati, and Kolkata, and thereby losing our economic opportunities of generating employment and so on. So we need to assess the economic implication of the current violence, and not only that, we must also look for ways and means for fostering economic development in the state. So I intend to create an economic development task force in order to achieve that one. Fifth one, as a professional academics, many of the quality education is concentrated in big metropolitan cities in this country. And Mufashil towns and universities don't suffer from many lacunas. So I've seen this in my state. So I intend to launch a educational empowerment initiative. One model is I'm trying to create a online-based virtual sort of a university, not to give degrees, but to supplement and complement the kind of teaching that's happening here. I'd like to create a list of faculty drawn from various institutes across the globe and create a syllabus. And you can run it for a month or two. People can involve with a nominal fee online, and they can listen to it online. They can have these interactive sessions, lectures to be delivered by these faculty members from across the globe. So that's one of the initiatives that I intend to do once I become an MP. 6, you know that Manipur suffer from inter-community estrangement relationship, among various groups of people. So I would like to initiate a dialogue and collaborative initiative. I'll try to take it. Historically, we have, something like a cultural integration council led by former Maharaj Kumar Priyobhata and so on. I would like to revive some of those things on that line. And besides the cultural and symbolic, on substantive level also, we need to work out collaborative exercises for strengthening the economic standard of the people. And our relationship among communities. So that's my 6th agenda I have: inter-community dialogue and collaboration initiative. 7, one of the basic things in governance is accountability. Corruptions and the employments, and I need to launch citizens oversight functions to look after what the government is doing. They have created a post. How many posts were created, who created, what kind of tenders was out. So I need to have this using RTI, and so by invoking activists, we would like to have information accessible to everybody so the citizens are well informed. And that kind of governance, accountability and oversight initiative, I will be initiating it. And the 8th one is that our indigenous art and cultural integration. There are a lot of similarities in rituals and worldviews among various communities. We don't know each other very well. So I would like to initiate indigenous art and cultural integration, a cultural policy and intercultural dialogue and so on. So that is the other one that I intend to do. This 9th one is Like the Structure Committee, I would like to assess different groups in communities, their socio-economic status, to see whether any of these communities are lagging behind and what is the reason for that and what can be done about it. So I will institute an assessment or press to the government to do it. If they don't do it, it will be taken initiative on that side. 10th, Manipur, right from the merger days, we suffer from the government of India trying to look at us from a security and military lens all the time. And I would like them to look at us as a civilian, as a governance based on citizens, not as a security or military angle. So that's a kind of a discourse that I would like to, I would initiate to shift, the discourses about Manipur and the Northeast. 11th is, we have an image, Manipur, even if we are a small state, but unfortunately, a lot of people have misgivings about our state as well in the Northeast and the rest of the country. So I would like to launch this brand Manipur afresh so that we gain that kind of respect from the rest of the world. 12th is the administrative reform. A lot of administrative arrangement in the state is flawed. I give you one example, in Bishnupur district or Thawal district. Do you see that Thawal College, there is hill and there are villages. The district headquarters in the so-called hill areas, all those people in villages, they will do marketing in Thawal, they go to hospital in Thawal, their education in Thawal. But why is that? Simply because it is a little elevated, you put it in the hill district. They travel like this to get signature from the DC, through Thawal, through Imphal, then Kangnatombi, and then Kangpopi. It's irrational to do that, right? So I think we need to rationalize to foster economic development. There is a need for land reforms and so on in the state. So a lot of these administrative reforms one must initiate it. I'll be working for those things. Last but not the least, India is a union of states. So I would like to work for fostering and strengthening Manipur's position under India's federal polity. That's one of the thing that I would initiate it. Whatever I can do to secure a respectable and honorable positions of Manipur within the Indian federal polity. That's a 13-point agenda, which is what I think require for us to create a new political culture and a new Manipur. That's the 13-point agenda I have, which I intend to do it. You will see these things. This is a process. You will see that I will initiate it. Many of the results you can see within 5 years, but some of them is a long-drawn process. But you will see the ball gets rolling during this 5 years itself. And I'll complete all these 13 tasks one way or the other, once and if I get elected as an MP.